guys, and welcome back to the FFF HQ, where today I have 3 different recipes that use protein powder for you, and they're all inspired by your favorite dessert. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the recipes every single week. And now we're ready to dive in. So number 1 is one of my favorites, and it's one of my go-to breakfasts. We're gonna make some cinnamon roll protein oatmeal. So we're gonna make our oatmeal base. We have a half a cup of rolled old-fashioned oats. You can use gluten-free if needed. And then we have 2 tablespoons of Truvia, or you can use your sweetener of choice. Just want to mix those together. And then we have 1 cup of water. You always want to use about double the amount of water that you have oats. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You want to turn your stove on to high heat and bring it to a boil. So once it's boiling, you're gonna let it cook for about 4 or 5 minutes, stirring pretty frequently until it's nice and thick and creamy. So once your oats are nice and creamy and thick, it's time to take them off the heat. So you just wanna put it into a bowl to cool while we finish making the cinnamon roll filling topping. So now we're ready to make that protein swirly cinnamon goodness. So we have 2 tablespoons of vanilla protein powder of choice. I'm using whey. Then we have some coconut sugar, which is like a natural version of brown sugar, so you can totally use brown sugar if that's all you have. And then some cinnamon. And just stir it together. So now we have to thin it out with some water, and the amount of water you use is really gonna depend on your protein powder. I typically use about 4 to 5 teaspoons of water, so you wanna probably add about 3 or 4, and then stir and see where you're at. And you may need to use more than me, or even a little bit less. But you kind of want to go for like a wet but kind of spreadable consistency, almost kind of like a little bit thicker peanut butter. Now we're going to be super fancy, and we're going to put our filling into this parchment paper bag so we can swirl it on top. But you totally don't need to do this, you can just mix it in. It tastes the same, but this is if you just want some pretty oats. So you just want to scoop that nice cinnamon paste, that's the only word to describe it, into your parchment paper bag. The tips cut off so that we can make it nice and swirly. So what's a good cinnamon roll without some cream cheese frosting? So we're not really gonna make frosting, but we are gonna make a little bit of a cream cheese topping. So we have a tablespoon of reduced fat cream cheese topped to room temperature. And then you wanna use 1/8 teaspoon of vanilla, or a little bit more. And then we're going to sweeten it to taste. I usually use about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of Truvia. And then just mix it together. So we're going to be fancy again, which again you don't have to do. And scoop your cream cheese frosting into a parchment paper bag. And make sure there's a tip cut off at the end. And then just pipe it over top, exactly like you're frosting a cinnamon roll. Cinnamon roll protein oatmeal is ready for you to have for breakfast, and now we're ready to move on to some protein powder cookie dough. So because protein powder cookie dough, we have 5 tablespoons of vanilla protein powder. I'm using whey, and that should be about 30 grams or so. Every protein powder weighs something different, so I do find it helpful to weigh your protein powder. And then you have a tablespoon of coconut flour, and just a pinch of salt, and whisk it all together. And then we have some unsweetened applesauce. This gives it a really good soft cookie dough texture. Need about 1 teaspoon of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Again, this is going to depend on your protein powder, kind of like the cinnamon roll protein oatmeal. So you kind of just want to add and go and mix as you add. Because you kind of want it to be not nice and soft, but not liquidy. We're going for the texture of cookie dough. optional but recommended is a 1/4 teaspoon of natural butter extract. It does really give it that buttery flavor that we expect from cookie dough. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it, but it really will change the texture and the taste. So what you can see, this has got a nice thick cookie dough texture. So I want to add in some chocolate chips because always, and then stir them in. Protein-packed cookie dough is ready for you, and now we're ready to make a mint chocolate chip protein shake. So we're pretty much just gonna put everything into a blender. So that's gonna be about 1/4 cup of avocado, which is about half a large avocado. Make sure it's nice and soft or it's hard to blend. Then 1/4 cup of 2% vanilla Greek yogurt. It's better when you have a little bit of the fat. You can use fat-free, but again, flavor. We have 1/2 cup of packed kale, which I promise you cannot taste. It just gives it that really nice green color like we have to have for a mint chocolate chip smoothie. A little bit of agave. You can use honey too, both work. And 1/4 cup of vanilla protein powder, which makes it really creamy and thick. Also gives it some nice protein to keep it nice and filling. We got some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, a 1/4 teaspoon of mint extract, of course, for the minty goodness, and then 1/2 cup of crushed ice. And then we're just gonna blend it all together. So after 15 seconds, it's not gonna be fully blended, but then you wanna add in your chocolate chips. And completely blend until it's nice and creamy and smooth. Three different ways to use protein powder, all inspired by your favorite desserts and perfect for breakfast or snacks. Which one would you try first? Please leave a comment below and let me know. I also love to hear what you thought of this video, and I'd really appreciate a like and a thumbs up. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so I'm delivering new and healthy recipes, product reviews, health tips, you name it, I got it every single week. So go enjoy your protein powder and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.